Hi, good evening. Welcome to the August 21st, 2018 Town Board meeting. We'll start by standing for the pledge. And can we have the scouts start for us? Any one of you? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
As always, at the beginning of our meetings, we like to invoke from our faith community, and we're very pleased to have with us the Reverend Mary Cooper from the House of Praise, Mother Mary as we call it. Please join us.
Father God, we bow before you, O God, in humble submission to your will. We thank you for this beautiful day that you have made and this opportunity that we can come together and share with one another. You said in your word that we should pray for those who have rule over us, O God, that we may live in peace. We ask your blessing, O God, upon those who are in charge, O God, that they may receive your wisdom and understanding and knowledge, that this may be a place where our young people can grow up and flourish, oh God. We thank you right now for what is about to be revealed, what is to be discussed, oh God, that you may be glorified. And we thank you for your presence in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 Thank you.
Thank you very
Reverend
much.
Cooper.
All right. I would just like to say that we have our scouts here from Baiting Hollow Camp, I believe, and they're earning their citizenship badge, and also they're doing work for their communications badge, so welcome. And now I'll turn it over to Diane for correspondence.
Under correspondence, we had a letter from Larry Sims regarding the special permit application by Glass Greenhouse, and that was a public hearing of August 7th. There was a letter from Harold Duffy Griffiths, and he submitted regarding the special permit application also of Glass Greenhouse. Two letters regarding the sale of EPCAL land to Calverton Aviation and Technology. A letter from John McAuliffe expressing views on the proposed local law to change the term of office of the town supervisor from 2 years to 4 years. Under reports, the tax receiver submitted their August utility collection report for $415,825.72. The police department submitted reports January through June, and then a separate one for July of 2018. And that's it.
All right, thank you very much. And Jim, did you want to announce we have 2 more concerts left over at Polonaise?
Yes, the Friday Night Concert Series has been very well this year. We've done 9 shows this year. We had 2 left, so we did 7 so far. Our 8th show again is Friday. All the shows are at Polonaise Park, so it doesn't matter whether it's raining or it's the sun's out, because you're under the shade, so you're out of the sun, you're out of the rain. Bring your lawn chair down. This week is Bobby Nathan's group. He's a local musician, and it's a tribute to Sly and the Family Stone. They're really outrageous. They're really, really good. So bring your dancing shoes, come on down, relax, and just have a good time. Free concert. So starts at 7.
And what's the final concert?
The final concert is the Jan Hanna Band. That's on the 31st of August,
I think it is 31st, yeah.
Jan Hanna is also a local folk group. The Lindsay Reeve and of course Jan Hanna, and they do a lot of folk type, Eagles type music. It's really good. So that's the last show.
Yep, go ahead.
I would also like to mourn with the community at Marie Dunleavy's loss. Former Councilman John Dunleavy's wife passed away last week. It was a surprise to all of us, and she was a great community member. She was a nurse. She was very involved in the community, in the ambulance district, in the fire department, and a very sad loss for the town of Riverhead. So we hope that you will keep the Dunleavy family in your prayers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our first public hearing is to start at 7:10, so Diane, we need to wait till 7:10 to start.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do is, start with the CDA resolution now.
Yes, there you go.
So can I have a first and second to close the town board meeting and to open the CDA hearing meeting?
Okay, Okay, I'll make a motion that we close the town board meeting and open the meeting of the Community Development Agency. So moved.
Thank you.
Seconded?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Did you
Gotcha.
wanna
I
vote? I don't
used
know,
to do
did you
that.
wanna vote?
Good evening.
Just any, no, do you wanna just finish the vote? Opposed?
Do you want me to just?
Yeah, go ahead.
All
just
ayes.
Do you want me to
do-
call or?
Do it like you know.
Okay, Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes, to
Wooten.
accept the documents,
No, no, just to open the meeting,
open the meeting.
yeah.
To
Okay.
open the meeting to accept the documents,
Okay.
yes.
okay, Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
The town board meeting is closed and the CDA meeting is now open.
Okay, good evening. We have resolution number 9. Resolution to reopen the record and admit Calverton Aviation and Technology LLC, CAT, response to the town's demand for additional financial records as part of qualified and eligible hearing.
Just like, do we have to have public comment on this?
If you want, I guess you could do that.
Do we, are we,
I mean, you could, yeah.
for
You have
resolution?
that option, yeah. It is a resolution,
And they should be in this meeting, so
yeah,
that would be the time.
yeah.
So,
if you wanna open
okay,
it up.
if there's anybody that wants to comment on this, you can come up to the podium.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I've been reading a lot of comments online about,
You just need to state your name first and,
hi, Christopher Amplo.
and your
Um,
town.
I live in the town of Riverhead, own property in a few spots in Riverhead. Been a member of this community for many years. Been reading a lot of comments online about the opportunity for the group to develop land over at the Calverton property. I feel that it is a disservice to the future of Long Island to not allow this group to come in and develop this property. I'm a 41-year-old person with 3 young daughters, and I go to sleep every night wondering if they're going to be able to own a home and live on Long Island. And the opportunities that are afforded to generations in the past on Long Island are not there currently.
And I'm just gonna stop you for 1 second, I know that you have comments about this, but we're just looking, right now, it's for comments on this particular resolution, which is to accept the financial document.
Yes, so I was
Okay.
getting to the financial documents.
Okay,
So,
fine.
based on the comments I've been reading online, there is some speculation about this group's financial capacity to be able to provide funding for the project. Am I speaking in the right
Well, go ahead,
context?
continue, yes.
Yes? So, my opinion on that is that they have a very good track record in developing land on Long Island, land around the country, and that their bonding capacity with a company like Liberty Mutual is something that is very favorable. So I believe that this should be an opportunity for them to present their case to the board and to the members of Riverhead to potentially develop this project and this land to open up opportunities for Long Islanders in future generations. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Seeing nobody else,
Cause when you said I'm reading the comments online, it kind of.
Call the vote. Kent?
Well, I guess we can make the motion and.
Oh, somebody has to make the motion, right?
I'll make the motion that you had read about reopening the record and admitting Calverton Aviation Technology LLC CAT, response to the town's demand for additional financial records as part of the qualified eligible hearing. So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, moved and seconded. The vote, Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
Yes.
Wooten?
Yes.
Jen Smith?
yes,
And the resolution was adopted. No further
okay. At this time, can I, whoops,
No further?
any other
further
business?
resolutions.
Okay. At this time, can I have a first and second to close the CDA meeting and to open the town board meeting?
I
So
will-
are we're closing the
CDA.
CDA meeting?
I'll make a
And-
motion, we close this Community Development Agency meeting and reopen the town board meeting. So moved.
And so
Second.
that's one motion, so I'll call the vote. One motion to close and reopen, you're not gonna close and then reopen?
Right.
Correct.
Okay, so, Kent?
Yes.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Giglio?
Yes.
Wooten?
I'm sort of like being in the CDA.
Me too.
Yes.
Yeah, Jen Smith,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay, so that is, the CDA is closed, the town board meeting is now open, it has passed 7:10, so we will move on to our public hearings. Our first public hearing tonight is the consideration of a local law to amend chapter 301 of the Code of the Town of Riverhead entitled Zoning and Land Development, Article 64, Mortgage and
good.
Default
64.
Registry,
Very
right, correct?
64?
You're good. Is there anybody that would like to come up and, comment on this public hearing?
Somebody should explain what it's all about.
Yep, Bob, do you wanna?
Yeah, it's, as the supervisor indicated, it is to add a new article to chapter 301, which is the zoning chapter, which is now known as zoning and land development. The, central purpose is to add a mortgage and default registry process or procedure, so that any property that's, gone into, foreclosure or is, considered to be applicable under the mortgage and default process must be registered with the town on a semi-annual basis. The semi-annual fee would be, $200, and, it would allow the town to, track, properties that are currently in, a foreclosure process. There are violations, set forth in the chapter, for those who fail to comply, and they are for first offense, $250 to $1,000, second offense, $1,000 to $2,500, and for a third, $2,500 to $5,000. There's a number of definitions of what's considered an abandoned real property in default, for example, under 301, 347, who the enforcement officer would be under this particular article, if it is adopted, and that's, I think, it, and the high points of it, so.
Okay, any discussion amongst the board?
I just wanna say that I think this is a great thing, and I'm glad that the code enforcement officers within the town brought it to our attention to tell us that they're having a hard time keeping track of these houses that are being foreclosed on or being abandoned. And these houses that are being abandoned are really creating a quality of life issues for the neighbors and the people that live in the neighborhood. Because you don't know who owns the house, you don't know who to call when the grass gets to be 3 feet high. And this legislation will require them to register that home upon the foreclosure proceeding, so that we know who to contact if the house is being rented illegally, or if the, maintenance of the house falls into disrepair. So we've had a lot of boarded up houses in the town of Riverhead for many years, and I think this is a step in the right direction to work with the banks that are foreclosing on these homes and try and get them cleaned up for the quality of life issues for the residents in the immediate vicinity.
Any other comments from the board?
That's it in a nutshell.
Yep. And seeing nobody up, I will close the public hearing, but leave it open till August 31st for written comment. It is now 7:17, and we will open the second public hearing, which is the consideration of a local law to amend chapter 217 of the Code of the Town of Riverhead entitled Buildings, Building Constructions and Improvement and Housing Standards, Part 6, Blighted Property. Bob, did you wanna comment on this?
Yeah,
Explain some?
this has been something that's been bantered around, I guess, in code enforcement for quite some time. It was, brought forward when some of the other municipalities were looking at this, and, in fact, for example, Huntington, who's had it in place for a while. And what it does is it adds an additional part to chapter 217, which is our building construction and housing standards chapter, which will, set forth when properties are considered to be blighted. There is a point system that's set forth, quite extensively at 217-110 as to, how a property will, be assessed points. Once a property is assessed more than 100 points and becomes, one of those that, needs to be, addressed, there is a process by which it'll be, noticed, and additional, registration fee or tax, will be added to the, tax bill. $5,000 in the case of a commercial building, $2,500 in the case of a residential building. The alternative is for the property owner to enter into a restoration agreement with the town. The provisions for that set forth that it's gotta be, extremely specific and set forth clear and definitive timelines for when those repairs have to be done. And again, this is a tool that we're looking at to assist us with addressing properties that are considered to be blighted within the community. Again, it's applicable to both commercial and residential properties.
Thank you very much. Did anybody else from the town board wanna say anything?
It's just a nice layout, the way it was put together with a point system that allows points for certain things. And a calculation of total points will determine an outcome, so I think it was laid out very well, and I look forward to the town being able to work with this and enforce this.
I agree, I think the registration fee for residents is, I think, well, in the commercial we're actually more inundated with, but with residential is $2,500. Now, what would trigger the registration fee, when you have 100 points?
Well, what happens is when you receive the, Bob, did you wanna explain it?
The property will be posted similar to the way we do a property that needs to be,
Chapter 54.
chapter up, billboarded up, or otherwise grass cut, and once there's a resolution that's adopted, that'll set the time for when that fee is added. Of course, it'd be to the next tax bill.
Well, they have 30 days, so
Correct.
they receive the
Correct.
notice, and then
Right.
they have 30 days to come
Come up
in
with an action
and
plan.
enter the,
Right.
come into a
Right.
restoration agreement. If they don't do that within the 30 days,
Right.
then it is added to their tax bill.
Correct.
At that point. So
And
they have 30 days to
Now,
do
that adding of that to the tax bill, I understand, is because we're gonna take action on the property, or no? It's
No, it's
just
just
because
a,
they didn't take action.
correct.
But we do have the ability to take action on it.
Well, right, under a different chapter,
Yeah.
okay.
No, actually, under this,
Well,
we have the
well,
ability.
the right to take action is if there's a restoration agreement, that's
Yeah.
under that particular option, and that's one of the things that was brought to my attention as a useful
I'm just wondering
tool.
what the $2,500, I understand it's punitive. basically.
Well, it also goes to
Yep.
the beautification of of houses that are blighted.
Oh, I get it, but
Yeah.
if there's not, if it's punitive, and they just say, I'll just pay the $2,500 and leave my house looking like that doesn't make sense.
Correct.
But it can be each and every year. It doesn't go away.
And let me just say,
Then we do chapter 54.
it's a tool for us.
Right.
It's a tool
Oh, I
in
know
our
what-
tool belt. Actually, when this was brought to me, with the code revision committee, I was very pleased, and it was brought to me because I was expressing my frustration with some of the buildings downtown that have been, not taken care of. And, what Bob mentioned, which is really very helpful, is that other towns have had this for a few years, so we were able to look at them, speak with them, and, see the success of the program, so I'm very pleased to move forward with this, and
Oh, I'm not
I think
opposed
it'll
to
be
this.
for the betterment of the whole town.
I'm not opposed to this, I just, when you start finding a tax property, I understand it being punitive, but I think corrective measures are more, should be part and parcel with any punitive action, that's all.
And I don't disagree with you, Jim, which is why I have concerns about this legislation, because this legislation is not only for commercial properties, it's for residential properties. So if you have a broken window, or if your siding is falling in disrepair,
Well,
or your,
that's only 10 points, there.
your fence is falling down,
That's
or
5 points.
your, and so that's the only thing, is that a lot of homeowners may not have the money in their, otherwise they would probably wanna fix their homes. And, you know, I hope that those people would reach out to us, and we would try and get them help, as we've done in the past, with donations from local businesses such as Riverhead Building Supply or 84 Lumber, or
The only good thing
some
about
of
this
the
is
other
that
companies.
there's other chapters, there's chapter 54 to address that, we do have the
Right.
senior programs through, that help with those situations. All right,
But this is.
it's another
but
tool, I like it.
That's a concern of mine, is that it applies to residential properties also, and I've spoken to elected officials in the town of Huntington where this has been very instrumental, and they focus mostly and entirely on commercial properties, not necessarily residential properties. That's my only concern with it.
Certainly, it's also a matter of town pride. You know, when people don't even bother to take care of their buildings, we're gonna be, you know, some of these landlords downtown, we're gonna be hitting them where it hurts in their wallet.
I don't disagree with the buildings downtown and blighted commercial buildings, but I disagree with the residential aspect of it.
Okay, at this time, if anybody from the public would like to come up and comment on this?
Sal Mastropolo, Calverton. Why not add agricultural and industrial in there?
It's anything throughout the town.
Commercial would cover industrial.
Well, agricultural doesn't come under commercial, and it doesn't come
It's
under
anything.
residential.
It's residential, it's rental property,
Well, then
it's
we should say that.
agricultural, commercial, It doesn't even refer to commercial or residential, it's just a
Just-
broad code for
Just
the whole
quickly,
town.
it defines blighted property as follows: an improved or vacant property which meets or exceeds a point value of 100 points as set forth in this article, so it's very general.
Okay. Did you define the fines relative to agricultural? Because you defined the fines relative to residential and commercial. What's the fine relative to either industrial or agricultural?
Where it says otherwise, in the scope, would that include the commercial, the agricultural, and,
Well, it says vacant land,
And
so
other-
agricultural is vacant land,
but when it, in
I
A
understand what
is
you're
for
saying, so-
scope.
or if it has a building on it, then it refers to buildings.
Because when you say, it says the scope, the provision of this chapter shall apply to all properties in the town of Riverhead, residential, commercial, and otherwise.
Okay.
No, he's addressing the registration fees section, which does not say agricultural, does say commercial, but it does not say industrial, so.
That's the point I'm making.
Alright,
Where,
okay.
which one is that one?
Alright, that's, section 217, 112, enforcement, subsection D. So I understand your point.
Okay. I'll look at check this out.
It says any commercial building or property,
Right.
and then under the property section, it refers to any property that's either vacant or has a building on it, is commercial or residential.
So let's do a little bit of research between now and next and we'll see if it encompasses all.
Okay.
Is there anybody else that would like to speak on this public hearing? Seeing nobody, I will close the public, hearing, but leave it open for a written comment until August 31st. What was that?
Are we having the public hearing on the supervisor's term?
Yes.
Okay, cause it's not in,
Yeah, we don't have
it
it
wasn't
listed.
sent over as,
It wasn't?
as a public hearing in our
Oh,
computer
really?
system.
Not on the computer.
Oh, no, we have it.
Okay, I just wanted to check,
Yeah,
that's all.
that it's not in there.
All right, and it is now 7:25. I'd like to open the public hearing to the consideration of a local law to change the term of office of town supervisor from 2 years to 4 years. Any comments from the board?
Actually, I have to say that this has come to vote in the past, and as a voter, I have always supported it, regardless of, who was in office. I don't see it as a political issue, I see it as, something that's better for our town. I think it gives us an opportunity for more consistency, and, gives the supervisor more time to get things done, and I always supported it as a voter, and I continue to support it as a board member.
And any, the public?
Kathleen Brasney, 43-year resident of the town of Riverhead. I am opposed to that position, Catherine Kent, extending the supervisor's term from 2 to 4 years. When the supervisor takes the position, they know that it's a 2-year position, and they go in if they're gonna do a great job, the people will vote them back in. They're not doing such a great job, it's our chance now to vote them out and get someone to come in and take care of our town of Riverhead. That's my position. We voted before in 2005, we voted in 2007, and the people spoke, and they said no. So, please, enough is enough. No, I vote no.
Hi, Ellen Hoyle, Town of Riverhead. I'd like to make a comment tonight regarding this extension of the term from 2 years to 4 years. While many may see it as such a request as a means to gain more power and influence or to extend their period of office for their own sake, I see it differently. I spent most of my life involved in the political landscape of local and state politics throughout my entire adult life. I had a judge in the family who was Republican. I worked on his campaign as his treasurer. I spent most of my adult life working on campaigns, ticketing, flyering. So one of the things I understand is what it takes to run for public office. I see one of the things is that a term of 2 years is of no one's best interest. While it appears to be an extension of time is of little or no benefit, it is in fact. When a person is elected to a short term of only 2 years, they have to almost immediately begin preparing for re-election. That has the potential to take time and focus away from the more important matters. That is not to say that that is what happens, but it is a risk. Shorter term limits also prevent the time needed to see larger projects through. Sometimes there is not even enough time to start them. Also, I can't see the logic of having councilpersons having 4-year terms while the supervisor is limited to 2. It can only serve to disrupt the cohesiveness of the working relationships. I support the proposed change. I see it as a benefit to the town, not a hindrance or a political play. A term limit of 12 years is not changing. There is only the change in the periods between elections. I would rather have the town leader focused on the issues at hand than on worrying about the job security. Everyone knows that when you are concerned about your future, it can sometimes be a hindrance. I do not see this as a Democrat or Republican political issue, but as more of how we want our town run. I elect for a smooth run rather than a staggered, chaotic one. Thank you.
I can tell you, I have always, I'm speaking generally, not necessarily with you, but I've supported a 4-year term for two. I always thought the supervisor should be 4 and the council should be 2. I've always thought that. But this town, one was almost 70%, and the last one was almost 65%. Overwhelmingly says, no, that's not what we want. The people of this town do not want that. I personally think it's a good thing, but then I gotta say, well, who am I representing while I'm sitting up here? And then Laura asked me, and I said, you know what, let's do it again. That's, you know, it's like Lori Downs, keep running for the school board, you'll eventually get on. You know, so I was reading the guest spot the last time that Sean put this up, and the Democratic leader, who is still the Democratic leader, made some very good points. And I like Marcia a lot. I sat on some meetings with her, and she says if there's one thing both parties can agree upon, is that government needs to be kept on a short leash. We Democrats, I'm reading, like the idea that the supervisor needs to come to the people regularly for renewal of his or her term. If you don't like what's happening at town hall, you can replace the majority of the town board. We Democrats believe it's more about the supervisor seeking the comfort of a lifetime pension and health benefits. I think they were referring to Sean at that point. I don't think that was anything geared towards Laura. But the ending of it said, we believe in regularly giving people their free choice of supervisor every 2 years. That's government that is responsive to the people, and that's the way to govern Riverhead. We urge you to vote no. I think good government is just the opposite, but she made some very valid points, and so I don't think it is political, because I actually agree with her on that. So, although I think a 4-year term is a good thing for governing, the people of this town, who I represent, do not want that.
But Jim, if you think it's good, you should vote
I have to represent.
with your heart. I mean, I think
I
it's
have to
the right thing, aside,
Well,
all
of course you do.
politics aside, it's the right thing. To have to suddenly go into a campaign again, it's disruptive to the work that's being done. And certainly I've heard that from within people that work in the town too.
Well, you're not gonna convince me otherwise, because it's been up twice already. We paid it to be on the ballot twice already, and I don't think things have changed that much, at least not in my section of the world.
I think we should consider putting it to a vote and giving the voters of the town an opportunity to make the decision.
It was 2016, actually, November of 2016, not even 2 years ago when it was put up for a vote. And there was no public comment at the public hearing, and it was voted down. 65% of the people that voted saying no. We like the 2-year term for supervisor. So, it's 2 years later. We have a supervisor that's been in office for 8 months, and if I was happy with the job she was doing, I would probably support this going on the referendum, but I'm not, and I'll take liberty in voting every 2 years for my supervisor. So, that's where I stand.
And once again, I'm gonna say, I think we need to put all politics aside and think about what's best for our town. And I think what's best for our town is to give people enough time to get things done, and to give the people who work within the town, you know, some consistency. This constant changing is not good for anybody.
Well, I can tell you that, the exception of one in my lifetime, every supervisor did at least 2 terms.
Well, I think, you know, for the
Except one.
the consistency of long-term planning, a two-year term is a challenge. I think, you know, this is not something that I necessarily would have put up at this point, but in talking to a lot of people talking to me and asking me to put this up, having spoken to, you know, several board members that were interested in putting this up also, I put the resolution forward. I think, you know, giving it a lot of thought, I think we do have term limits in place already, which I think is, you know, wonderful that term limits are in place. So I think that the 4-year term does allow the ability for some more long-term and long-range planning. I think many times when this has been brought up as a vote in the public, a lot of times it is in the context of already somebody having been in office 3 terms or 4 terms, and I think that when the public was voting on it, it might have been in the context of a political issue. The reason I brought it forward at this point is because I am only in 8 months. I felt that putting it in at this time removed some of that political conversation about whether you want a particular person in or not. So, you know, whoever would be elected, I think it would be beneficial to them, Republican or Democrat, at the next election. I don't think it really is about the person in the seat, but it's about the consistency of the seat and being able to do good for the town of Riverhead. And so that's why I put this forward at this point, so,
Good evening, Supervisor and council members. My name is Linda Prizer. I'm from Jamesport. We've heard a lot about past elections and even election in 2016. Well, just looking at myself and the nature of my block, many people have moved in the past year, the past 2 years, and have become permanent residents. My husband and I became permanent residents here in 2017, and I think there is a wave of people who may feel very differently from those who voted in 2006, 2005, and even 2016, and I think that we deserve to be heard on this. Thank you.
and I agree with you. I think this is not to make the decision, but I think it's giving the public the ability to vote on this in not in a political context of somebody having been in office long-term, so. You wanna say anything?
And one more time, I'm gonna urge my council mates to consider passing this. You know, I didn't always agree with Sean's politics, but I felt this was the right thing for the town, that's why I supported it last time, and that's why I continue to support it.
From the inside looking out, and I say that meaning because obviously I'm an elected person. I think 4 years is necessary for the supervisor's position. But I will not vote to support it simply because, and I'm gonna piggyback exactly what Councilman Wooten said. The people have spoke time after time on this, and it was put up again very recently, and honestly, I'm here kinda to represent the people, and the people made it pretty loud and clear that they do not want a 4-year term for the supervisor's position. I do think it makes the job difficult to do, I agree with that. But in my position as a councilman, I'm representing the people that put me here, and the people that put me here do not want a 4-year term, so I will have to vote against it.
And once again, this vote is to put it on the ballot for the public to decide. This is not a vote for the board to decide, but the question is whether to put it out for the public to decide, so.
Good evening, my name is Brian Carroll, I'm a new permanent resident of Riverhead.
I know you.
Welcome.
From first impression, this proposed public law seems to want to provide parity for selected office holders in Riverhead in comparison to peers in Huntington, Babylon, and Smithtown. However, I believe this new ballot initiative, so soon off the heels of the failed 2016 proposal, would have unforeseen consequences in the voter participation. Furthermore, I think that this town knows surely what 600 votes can mean and what can previously have occurred in the past. I think that although there's merit to this particular proposal, there has not been any delineation with respect to how government can be more transparent, accountable, and efficient going forward with this proposal. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And welcome to Riverhead. Any other comment? Seeing no further comment, I will close the public hearing. At this time, if there is anybody who would like to comment on resolutions, to please come forward.
Sal Mastropolo, Calverton. Resolution 674.
Yes.
There's no mention whatsoever in the attachment as to the interactions between the SRO and the security department at the school, and I think there should be, because I think it could be an issue of power. I think you take that into consideration.
Okay.
And Article 10, reimbursement for the SRO. The fifth line down, there's a typo.
Yes, it's
There's
gotta
a dollar
change.
sign instead of a
Dollar sign.
percent sign.
Yep.
That makes a big difference.
Yeah, a little. Resolution 680. Weight limit of 5 tons. I always thought a ton was 2,000 pounds, so it's either 7 tons or 14,000 pounds. One of them is wrong. No person shall operate a motor vehicle of a total of greater than 14,000 pounds, open paren 5 tons.
Okay.
So that one, what we wanted was the 5 tons, 10,000 pounds?
Yes, that was discussed in traffic safety.
Okay,
What number was that?
10,000.
It's,
680.
resolution 680.
Resolution 688, very first line, the whereas. Is it May 17, 2017 or May 17, 2018? There's a digit missing in there.
Oh, okay, yep.
That's it.
That was
Oh.
in 2017, correct?
Yeah, 17, yeah.
That's 2017, okay. May 17th, 2017?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, so, and seeing nobody else comment, we will move on to resolutions.
Okay. Resolution 661.
Hello?
Resolution to reopen the record and, nope,
Yeah, right,
that's
keep
the
going.
other one. Budget adjustment for the installation of hardwired fire and code detectors.
It's,
So,
it's,
CO detectors, so
detector.
moved.
Seconded.
Hello?
moved and seconded, vote please. I'm sorry, I'm just, is it okay to have COs?
What's
We
going
have to
on?
put
You sleeping?
cardamom outside.
I know it's cold in here.
CO,
I
come on.
think
See, it's
CO
fine.
was
Okay.
the abbreviation.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 662.
Justice Court budget adjustment, so moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 663.
Authorizes the Community Development Department to apply for a Creative Communities grant from the Huntington Arts Council in conjunction with Riverhead Business Improvement District Management Association, BIDMA. So
That-
moved.
Should that be agency?
Second, it should be agency.
Okay, so just correct it.
Agency on 663. Okay.
So just to change department to agency, to amend the title?
Well, it's not the agency that is it the agency that's making the application or the department on behalf of the town?
It's the CDA to apply for the community.
Yeah, it's always the CDA that applies for it, we don't. It's an agency, a public authority.
Community Development Agency.
So we're gonna amend it.
It's right within the resolution, it's just the heading that's missing.
So moved as amended.
And I seconded this.
Moved and seconded, vote please. The first
Kent.
resolve.
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes, as amended.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 664.
Is it cold in here?
Yes.
I can see my breath.
I think it's perfect.
Me too. I think it's perfect also.
664, authorizes purchase of a used generator for use by the town engineering department. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 665.
Appoints a police officer to the police department, so moved.
Seconded,
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
yes.
Giglio.
We recently hired 2 police officers and one of them declined the job, so this is a replacement for that person that declined the job, yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 666.
Oh, boy.
Accepts the resignation of a part-time court officer, so moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yeah, I'd like to thank, Officer Bennett, he worked for us for a number of years over in court, and I wish him best as he moves on.
That's a yes.
Yes. Sorry.
Giglio.
Yes, good luck, Officer Bennett, yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 667.
Amends Resolution 522. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 668.
This adopts the local law to amend chapter 231 entitled Fire Prevention of the Riverhead Town Code. So moved.
Second,
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 669.
Adopts the local law to amend chapter 301 entitled Zoning and Land Development, Site Plan Review, Application Procedure, Fees of the Riverhead Town Code, so moved.
Seconded,
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 670.
Awards bid for food and meat products, so moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Wait,
Kent.
let's get
Yes.
I know, it
Hubbard.
should be the other way.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes, we need food and meat. For our seniors.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 671.
Ratifies the appointment of a seasonal lifeguard to the Recreation Department. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 672.
Ratifies the appointment of a seasonal lifeguard to the Recreation Department. So moved.
Second,
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 673.
accepts the resignation of a member of the Board of Directors for the Riverhead Industrial Development Agency, so moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
And we wish Larry Sims well in his move. I vote yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
And we're taking applications, so the applications can be submitted to the town clerk's office to have a position on the Industrial Development Agency Board. Interviews will be conducted, yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes, and thank you, Larry, for serving.
I didn't point them out.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 674.
Authorizes an agreement with Riverhead Central School District for a school resource officer program. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote
Kent.
please.
Kent.
I'm very pleased to, help the school district out in this way. I vote yes.
Hubbard.
Been waiting for one for years, absolutely yes.
Giglio.
Yeah, I just saw the agreement today for the first time, and I see that there's some things that need to be changed, some, language within the agreement, but I think that the school will work with us on that, Bob, yes? As far as when it says the police officer will report to the principal, if the principal's on vacation, it should be the principal or his designee, or his or her designee, and there's just some cleaning up in
I
it
think-
that
I think
needs
It does
to be done.
mention that in most places,
I
it's
think
just,
on any language like that, I don't think they're opposed to the idea of it being school administration or principal, if that's what you want to say,
Right.
yeah.
And I would vote for the amendment also from $50 to 50%.
Right.
So it needs to be amended
In
to
order to
read
protect, in order to
that
protect,
it's
yeah.
50%, not $50.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wooten.
$50. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I mean, we used to have a police presence in the school way back when we had DARE program and all that. It really, it's a community building and it's also a safety issue, so yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes, and I think it's a, you know, a bridge in the community between the police department and the school district, so I think it's unfortunate in these times that this is an issue that we have to address, but, I'm pleased that we can move forward with that.
And I forgot one thing. I wanna thank my 2 retired police officers that are on the town board for consulting with me and going over the agreement with me today and making me feel comfortable that I can vote for it, so, thank you both.
Okay. Resolution adopted. Resolution 675.
Riverhead Sewer District budget adjustment for generator, so moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please?
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 676.
Riverhead Sewer District budget adjustment, so moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please?
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 677.
Adopts a local law entitled Local Law to Change the Term of Office of Town Supervisor from 2 years to 4 years. 4 years, so moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please?
Kent.
We put all politics aside, this is the right thing. Yes.
Hubbard.
Listening to the people? No.
Giglio.
Agreeing with the Democratic Committee leader and her representing the Democratic Party and how she was vehemently against it 2 years ago. I agree with the Democratic leader and I'm voting no.
Wooten.
Wow.
What you got to say?
I think the people need some breathing room time. Maybe in another few years, let's see how it goes. So I'm gonna vote no.
I'm sorry?
Let's earn that for you.
Jim, Diane didn't hear your vote.
Oh, you didn't hear me?
No, I didn't.
No.
Okay, I heard that. Jen Smith.
I vote yes.
The resolution is not adopted. Resolution 678.
Denies County of Suffolk application under New York State Highway Law, Section 207, regard discontinuance and abandonment of the terminus approximately 2,183 and bisecting land owned by the County of Suffolk, Riverside Drive, Riverhead, New York. So moved.
I guess I'll second that.
Okay.
That was
Little
moved
flip-floppy
and
there.
seconded, vote please?
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
I'll abstain. My husband has a contract with the county and this road is on the county property.
Wooten.
This is to deny the county's application?
It is.
Yes.
In a lot of fancy words.
Good, then I agree with that, so I vote yes, I believe.
Okay, Jen Smith.
I vote yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 679.
You could read another one.
Wanna
Authorizes.
give it to Tim?
Authorizes supervisor to execute agreement with Riverhead Youth Sports Incorporated for referee umpire services for Town of Riverhead Police Athletic League football program for the 2008 calendar year. So moved.
2018.
2018.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please?
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 680.
Oh my goodness. Authorizes town clerk to publish and post a notice of public hearing to consider a proposed local law for an amendment of chapter 289 entitled Vehicles, Traffic, and Parking Regulations of the Riverhead Town Code, 289-6.1, weight limit of 5 tons, Parkway Street. So moved.
And I will second it as amended to change it from 14,000 pounds to 10,000 pounds.
Well, I said 5 tons, but, oh, you're talking about,
Just the public
Yeah, no,
notice had
I-
to be changed, yeah.
And I second
So moved and
with that
sec-
amendment.
moved and seconded, vote please?
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes, as
Gig-
amended.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 681.
Adopts a local law to amend chapter 251 entitled Noise, Public Nuisances, and Property Maintenance of the Riverhead Town Code. Bamboo! You guys missed these public hearings, cause they were very exciting. I can see it on your faces that you're really sorry you missed all those meetings. I make a motion, we move this resolution.
Well, then do
I
it.
will certainly second this resolution.
Moved and seconded, vote please?
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
And I wanna thank everybody that worked with us to get it right, yes.
Wooten.
They're actually very beautiful plants. I bought a couple of those clumping ones. They were nice.
Oh, man, thank goodness you said
Yeah.
clumping.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes, I think that this was, you know, a resolution that wanted to come through. I think we had several public hearings on it. I think that the, code revision worked on this very hard to get this through, and it's something that the public was happy with, so I'm very happy to have that going through, yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 682.
And good work, Brad and Bob.
Yes. 682 amends resolution 171, so moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please?
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
This is, originally, when we came in, there was a limit, for claims at $15,000. and this is to, increase the claim amount to $25,000 for authorization for, Bob to be able to do it.
And I'm hoping I don't have to use it.
Yes.
Okay.
So originally, the way it worked is each individual claim could be up to $3,500.
That stays the same.
Right, and this is for Bob to approve, and with a cap of $15,000. So we have hit that cap, so we've
About
just.
13
Right, so we are upping the cap, for the year.
Okay, just for this year,
Correct.
Yes.
okay. Yes,
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 683.
Authorizes the law firm of Scott D. Simone P.C. to act as a special counsel and authorizes the supervisor to execute a retainer agreement in the third-party action by the County of Suffolk and the Suffolk County Comptroller. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten,
What a fight. Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 684.
Declares personal property, the Grumman Memorial Park trailer, surplus/obsolete and authorizes disposal of the same. So moved.
and seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio.
I think Clifford could use another trailer, yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 685.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute a contract for payments in lieu of taxes with Riverhead Solar Farm LLC, S-Power, so moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Abstain?
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio.
I wanna thank our assessors for working very diligently on these, payments in lieu of taxes. They're elected officials and they really spend a lot of time and making sure that the money's coming into the town where it should be. So, thank you to our elected assessors, and I will vote yes.
Wooten,
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 686.
Approves Chapter 255 application of Starfish Junction Productions LLC, Long Island Fresh Hop Festival, Saturday, September 22nd, 2018. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 687.
Approves Chapter 255 application of Daria Gall 5K foot race entitled Terrain Race, Saturday, September 15th, 2018. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 688.
Construction of a concrete ground storage tank and booster station at Plant 15 for additional budget adjustment.
And
So moved.
just as amended, cause we changed it, we added the date 2017.
Oh,
And the first whereas.
Right.
that's not 201?
Yeah, no,
Way back.
you've been in the job a long time.
201.
As amended to the correct date of the 2018. So moved.
18 through 17.
27.
I second as amended.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 689.
452, Water Main Service Installation, Water District Capital Project Number 81853. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 690.
Awards bid for well and pump testing, evaluation, reporting, and information management for use by the Riverhead Water District. So moved.
Seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 691.
Awards bid for 2017 or newer first responder vehicle. So moved.
I had that wrong.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 692.
This is funding for the 2019 Chevrolet Tahoe first responder vehicle. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 693.
Awards Comprehensive Energy Management Services. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes, I can't wait for, Johnson Controls to get in here and give us our free audit and see just how we can save money townwide from street lighting to LED lights to
To heating and ventilation system.
heating and ventilation and
Windows, doors, you
do
know.
everything we can do to save the town some money. I vote yes.
Giglio,
I vote yes to the free audit, and I will be voting in the future as to whether or not we'll be moving forward with any of those projects.
Wooten,
I probably won't be, but yes, I second. Right?
You're still gonna be.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 694.
Pay the bills.
I'll second, I'll be happy
Okay,
to
there you
second.
go.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Jen Smith.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
Nothing coming off the floor?
Nope,
That I'm aware of.
nothing off the floor. At this time, I ask anybody from the public, if you'd like to come up and address the board, please come up, state your name.
I was driving around and I know you guys have been dealing with traffic issues and trying to solve some of the traffic issues. I was driving around, not last weekend during the rain, but the weekend before that, and one of the things I've noticed is the amount of U-turns that are being made in the middle of Sound Avenue and Main Road. By party buses, SUVs,
Sound
cars.
Avenue and what road?
And Main Road, the middle of the road, just
Both roads.
both roads.
Oh, and Main Road,
Yeah, so like the middle of Sound Avenue, you're driving along in the middle, the guy in front of you just makes a U-turn. This time of year and in pumpkin picking season, that can be dangerous. So I'd like the town board to consider maybe installing some no U-turn signs along both roads. Thank you.
One of them wasn't a Grand Marquis, was it?
No.
We'll bring it up in traffic safety.
I have a habit of doing that on Main Street.
Is there anybody else that would like to address the board? Seeing no one, can I have a first and second to close the town board meeting?
I make a motion, we adjourn the meeting, so.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
We are closed, okay?
No, I'm in favor. Thank you, Boy Scouts, for coming.
Yeah.
It was, relatively
On
quick
my
and
honor, I
painless.
promise too.
By
You guys lucked out tonight.